education, honesty, and integrity. Always the truth. It's Girl on a Roof.
This is the Elegant Homes Podcast with your home improvement expert, Don Riley. Don gives you weekly tips on the biggest investment you'll ever make, your home. Plus, Don talks to industry's leading professionals to make your home elegant. The Elegant Homes Podcast with Don Riley is powered by Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky.
Welcome back to Elegant Homes. I'm your host, Don Riley, where we make every home elegant, one home at a time. It is Who Day season. The Bengals are about ready to take the Rams in L.A., and we're going to take this championship. We're rooting for these Bengals to win the Super Bowl. I think it's been 31 years now since the Bengals have been in a title game like this, and the last time we played San Francisco, and of course we had that terrible loss. But I am so excited because this game is going to be played not only in L.A., but we got a lot of friends out there, but also the Bengals, I think, are going to dominate this game. I really do, and I'm praying that Burrows doesn't get hurt during this game. I know they're a tough, fundamental, tough team. The Rams are, but you know what? It's going to be a good game, so I'm so excited. You know, a lot of things going on here at Elegant Homes, and I am just blown away with the 2022 season. We've already started off with a hop and a jump on some of these home improvement projects. But I am mostly excited about one of our good friends and one of our new partners that we are bringing in to the Elegant Home Podcast. And she's going to be starting her own show here soon. And we've got her with us today. And I'd like to welcome Becca Haggard to the Elegant Home Podcast.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. How you doing? I call her Beck, but
yeah.
she is,
I go by a lot of names.
But we are excited. She has just launched Girl on a Roof, and we are excited to be a part of this. We're going on this journey with her, and I'm telling you, it's exciting because this girl can do it all. I mean, from repairs to work with the customers to, you know, installing roofs. I mean, this girl does it all, and she does it with just a smile, and I love her enthusiasm, her energy as she takes over the roofing industry, and I am so honored. Welcome to the Elegant Home Podcast.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, really excited.
Well, tell us a little bit about Beck. So you've been in the roofing industry for quite a while, and you decided to launch your own company, Girl on a Roof, and I know a lot of people in our town know who you are. But tell us, what's your mission statement? What is behind all this hype on Girl on a Roof?
Sure. Well, really, my what excites me is that there are a lot of options for girls out there today. I think that when I was in high school almost 20 years ago, didn't really have a lot of options to work with my hands, or at least wasn't presented with those options. It was just, are you going to go to college? What are you going to do? And so as I went to college and got my degree and kind of got started with my career, so to speak, and what I wanted to do, I kind of just jumped right into sales. It just was the next step for me because there's a million jobs out there in what's considered retail sales. And so that's kind of where I started. But man, had I had an opportunity like I want to present to girls coming out of high school and college, women of all ages, it's the opportunity to learn trades, whether it's roofing or whether it's just handiwork, general work that is kind of more of what I do. That's what I'm looking for, is to be able to present an opportunity to women and girls to do something they really never thought to do. And when I got into roofing, my background was not only sales, but it was also in just had a love and passion for tools, to work with my hands, to work with wood. I build furniture on the side, kind of just for friends and family as they need it. And so I just started to grow and hone in on different skills that I loved, and it just kind of snowballed and it kind of took over. And when I got into roofing, it was kind of the best of both worlds, where I was able to use my communication and my sales background with kind of the background and the trades of swinging a hammer, putting a nail in, those kind of things. So it was kind of just a collide of two worlds, and here we are today, and I'm really excited to get things going.
And you told me, in the beginning, like you worked in a hardware store. I think you told me that story, and So, what a better place to learn, the business, but, people coming in wanting screwdrivers and hammers and fixing screens and, but you said you've always had that passion in you about doing home improvements. And, but, tell us a little bit about, so what really made you say, you know what, eventually I want to do this girl on a roof thing, and I want to help other girls, empower them to, have the ability to go out and create their own path in this, what we call this society, which is tough on women today, and you're an advocate for women's rights. And I love that. Being a father of 4 girls, I'm always encouraging my girls to do the right thing and, and strive to, to have a job and a career that they're passionate about. And, of course you do. So this is what you love. Yeah. Tell us, so as you go through this journey, I mean, what's your end game in all this? I mean, tell us, and I know you're a mother, and, a wife. So, all the struggles in life. And, so tell us a little bit about, what's your end game for all this?
Yeah. So I'm a mother of 3. I have 2 girls and a young son, and my middle daughter really loves that I do what I do. She thinks it's just fantastic. She says, I want to be a cool mom like you one day. And I love that. And that's really kind of what kind of triggered my brain to say, well, I want to help create that world for you. And like you said, Dawn, I am an advocate for, empowering women in a way that is just with tools, with using your hands, and that type of empowerment, like powering up and firing up tools and saying, I can do this. And it's just believing that you can do it. Because that's really half the game, is just knowing and believing that, you can do something and setting your mind to it. And it's so my journey has started it was very organic, like you said, working at the hardware store. That was kind of the second half. I worked with a gentleman who really kind of showed me kind of the ins and the outs of the construction world. And so I took that knowledge, and when I had my 3rd child, couldn't be tearing down plaster walls and hanging doors anymore. And so I had to step back into sales and went to a hardware store. And that's kind of where I honestly, like you said, I learned a lot more. Learned a lot more about tools and what works best in what situation. And then my girls, of course, loved coming in and seeing me, and I would show them things. And anytime I have a situation where I have to work with my hands, I always, unfortunately, make my children. My one loves it, the other one doesn't love it. But I got to change a battery out, and I say, here's a socket, and I'm going to show you how to use a socket wrench. That's awesome. And my one daughter's like, well, how long do I have to do this, and how long does this take? But eventually, I think her just knowing, like, I can do this myself. My dad was really big in inspiring me in that. He was a big part of my story, and he would I followed him around, so naturally I was there. When the time came for him to tell me what he was doing, I just loved it. It was, what are you doing, or what tool are you using, or why are you doing it that way? And he of course, he loved it because I was following him around, and so I want to do the same thing for my girls, and then hopefully be able to teach other women and other girls to say, hey, you can do it too. Here's how you carry a ladder. Here's how you put it up on a house. And here are some safety guidelines. And here's how you hold your hammer when you swing a hammer. Because believe it or not, that's something you got to learn. and just the basics. And I think that a lot of girls coming out of high school, especially, I think that's where my heart is. I coached volleyball for 8 years, and 15 and 16-year-olds. And I know that they're just sponges for knowledge and wanting to just figure out what they want to do with their lives. And so I'd love to get back into high schools and say, hey, here's an option for you. I want to be able to present that option to them and just help their mind grow a little bit. Even if it's not roofing, it might inspire them to say, oh, I never really thought to get into whatever it is, welding, plumbing, electrical work, HVAC, whatever it is. I mean, I think that, like you said, women today can do whatever they want. And I just want to be an example of that, really.
That's awesome. And we are such an advocate here at Elegant Home Podcast, and not only men and women being in the trades. We need more people in the trades. So we're so excited to have Becca Haggard right here, Girl on a Roof, right here on Elegant Home Podcast. And we'll take a short break. We'll be right back. We're honored to have our grand sponsor, Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky. They have been so supportive of the Elegant Home Podcast, and we're honored. I was just out there last week, and we just bought a new 2022 Chevy truck from them. I'm telling you, this thing is beautiful, and we bought it from one of our other salespeople, and I tell you, they are so awesome. This is the second truck we bought from them, and she absolutely loves it. So I'm telling you, stop out and see the gang there. They're always courteous and they're always honest, and they'll give you a great deal. And make sure you tell them Don Riley from the Elegant Home Podcast sent you and your family.
The Marshall Auto Group has grown into one of the largest dealer groups in the state of Kentucky, and we're right in your backyard. With locations in Dry Ridge, Crittenden, and Florence, we're convenient and easy to get to. Plus, we have hundreds of new and used vehicles priced to make it worth your drive. We're a family-run business, making us easy to deal with. Come see us. Marshall Dry Ridge Toyota, Marshall Chrysler Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Marshall Motors of Florence, and Marshall Power Sports. The Marshall Auto Group, easy to get to, easy to deal with.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Don Riley. We took a short break right there. We're talking to Becca Haggard from Girl on a Roof. She is in studio with us today, and we are talking everything roofing, which is so cool, and we're empowering women to get into the trades. You know, I was just reading an article the other day about micro dirty jobs, and he is building a facility to help more people get into the trades, women and men, and I thought that was so cool. And, you know, we don't have enough women out there fighting to get more girls into the trades, and that's what I love about Beck's story, is that she's not only, you know, carving that path for young women to, you know, believe in themselves. Our society is so pressured today with, you know, we got so much outside pressure on these young kids, and if we could just give them a venue that they could, you know, a path that they could follow. And you know, we instill some morals and some ethics in some of these young kids, and teach them that hard work pays off. You can get anything in this life you want if you work hard, and that's what I love about Beck's story and what she's doing for these young people. And that's what I love about Girl on a Roof, is it tells that story. It's the old age story of, you know, someone who is changing the thoughts and minds of how people look and perceive things. And I got to tell this story, but it leads into this story. So I told Beck, I said, I got to go on an appointment with you. I got to see how these customers react to you pulling a ladder off the truck and, you know, and getting up on their roof. So we go to this guy's house in our town here, and set the appointment. We go out there, and I go with Beck, and we get out of the truck, and he looks at me and goes, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "I'm not doing nothing." I said, "She's here to fix your siding on your house, and she's got to get a ladder out." And he's like, "You going to help?" I was like, "No, she's going to pull the ladder off and do it."
I wouldn't have let you help me anyway.
Yeah, I know. She's too prideful. But you know, she grabs that ladder. I mean, we're talking this 32-foot ladder. I mean, she grabs it like a pro, slams it up against the house. Not slam it, but puts it up against the house, climbs that ladder, and he's standing there, and he goes, "This is so cool, man." He goes, I never had a woman work on my house before. And he goes, she's got her tool belt on, you know, hammer on the side. And he was loving every minute. And the funniest thing, and this is the part that just got me, and he's like, "You know what, man?" He goes, "You're a genius." He goes, "You're working with this girl doing this?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "You know, we just figured out a way to, you know, to help more girls." And I said, "I love, you know, helping her any way I can." And he looks at me and says, "You know, I want to start Girl on a Mower." And I just laughed. I told Beck, and we got a chuckle out of that. And but anyway, it's neat to see how people perceive, you know, and everything's perception in life, right? I mean, you perceive everybody from the first time you meet somebody or that first date you go on. And it's just so cool to see how people respond to her when she, like I said, she jumps out of the truck, and they're like, "Oh, a girl's here," you know, and she's pulling a ladder off, and people, it throws people a curveball a little bit. And that's what I love about it. So, you know, I want to talk a little bit too, Beck, about repairs. You know, you do a ton of repairs. You got some really cool videos that we'll share on our podcast. She's got some videos where she's up on the roof and repairing pipe boots and doing different repairs. Tell us a little bit about, you know, some of the repairs you've done. And, I mean, she can do everything, drywall, but the cool thing is she loves getting up doing repairs on the roof. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's as soon as I remember, before I got into roofing, I was like, I don't know how I love working with my hands. I'm not sure about getting on a roof, but really once I got on my first roof, I was really hooked. There was just this moment of strength, really, where it just felt like I'm on top of the world. You know, I'm only on top of a 2-story building, but in all reality, it was like, you know, I can literally do anything I want. And so as, you know, as I got into it and started diving into roofing and really educating myself on the ins and outs of what roofing is, I know it sounds weird, but I just fell in love with it. More about, I'm just kind of an education person where I'll just find myself watching these videos on just bettering myself, bettering my knowledge, learning how to do things the right way. I'm very big on doing things the right way, and I was taught that, and I really appreciate that. And so that's kind of why I find myself doing the repairs, is because I want to do it properly. I don't want it to be, I called some guy out or girl, but it's usually a guy. I'm not gonna lie. Called some guy out and he slapped some this on there and slapped some that on there, and now it's leaking again. And now, so now here I am calling you. And so kind of where my brain was spinning as well, I want to be the girl that not only is a girl on a roof, and like you said, Dawn, it's very surprising to people. They go, especially older guys, they go, you're going to get on my roof? And I say, yeah, I sure am. And they're like, oh, okay, well, they just feel a little helpless. They don't know what to do with their hands.
Be careful.
They don't know what to do with their hands. They're like, let me hold the ladder. And I'm like, I got this. I'm good. But yeah, they're just a little thrown off by it, and I love it every single time. It's fantastic. And then it's usually, if it's a wife or a woman answering the door, I say, I'm going to get on your roof, and they're just like, that's incredible. Like, that's always their response. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll let you know when I'm done, and we'll chat, and I'll give you the rundown. And so, my tagline, or what I want to be known for, is education, honesty, and integrity. And it's letting the homeowner know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and I'm going to do it the right way, so that I hope you never have to see me again. That's the goal. Hope the only time you bring up my name is when you're telling somebody else, hey, call back that girl on a roof. She's going to take really good care of you. And that's really what's happened. And people will call and say, hey, you did a great job on so-and-so's house, and they told me to call you. And I'm so glad I did, because you did a great job on my house. And so when I jump on a roof and I need to, replace a pipe boot, or I need to, replace a couple shingles, or install an exhaust out a roof, whatever it is, it's always about making sure I do it 100% the right way. I'm not going to cut corners. I'm not going to save money. I'm not going to use cheap nails because it saves me $1 or $2. It's going to be using the right equipment, using the right material, and making sure I put enough time and effort into it to seal the deal, basically. I don't want your home is important to you. Your belongings inside are just as important. And the last thing I want is for you to have my work jeopardize your home. And so that's something that I will forever shoot for. That's my goal, is to keep you dry and to do it right.
Well, and also too, I think that you put some flair into it, because the roofing business. You've been doing it a long time. So the cool thing is you can talk the lingo too. About drip edge and ridge vents and synthetic felt paper and all these things that the homeowner wants to talk about. Maybe they've, and let's face it, the homeowner's educated today compared to what they used to be. We got the internet, so they read a lot of stuff. So, if a homeowner looks at Beck and says, what is a ridge vent? And then she educates them on what a ridge vent is, and they're like, oh, wow, she's knowledgeable too. Not only is she good at what she does, but she's knowledgeable. Boy, that builds such confidence in the homeowner. And I'm telling you, the referrals just pour in after that, because if they believe in you and you know what you're talking about and they like you, you got a customer for life. So tell us a little bit about too. So what do you look for? So let's say an average day, Beck's out, and you're doing a job in a neighborhood, and then, you might say, you know what, I want to look at some of these other homes around that job. What do you look for in a roof to approach a customer and say, you might have some damage, or there might be some things going on here? What do you look for personally?
Yeah, that's a good question. Probably the number one thing that I look for is missing shingles. Anytime a house is missing shingles, there's a chance that you're gonna have water coming in your house. Not only just coming in, but you're gonna be damaging, your decking underneath the shingles. You're gonna be damaging your trusses, whatever it is that hold your roof up. Whatever you have in your attic, it just pours through all the way. And so that's something that really stands out. Probably the most obvious is missing shingles. And so that's always, an easy jumping off point when I go to a home and I say, hey, you have some damage on your roof. Do you want to chat about that? Do you want me to, I can let you know how I can help you. I can educate you on why it's important for you not to have missing shingles. and everyone, for the most part appreciates that, so.
And, tell us what is your number one rule? I mean, I know you use a lot of safety what I would call instruments when you're out there, as far as if you're up high, I'm sure you're strapping off and those type of things. Tell us a little bit about some of the safety. I just heard the tragic story yesterday of a 63-year-old man just retired in the roofing industry and went to a UDF over in Cincinnati, put a ladder up. I'm sorry, Dunkin' Donuts, put a ladder up, fell backwards, hit his head, died. So people don't realize the roofing industry is very dangerous, and and when you say, hey, there's a woman doing this, people thinking around, oh, well, this is dangerous, but even a man doing it, there's no difference. It's dangerous to either the male or the female. But what are some of the safety mechanisms that, Beck, you particularly, I mean, as far as planting your ladder in the ground, I mean, what are some of the things that you do to just double check everything to make sure that Beck is safe when she's up on that roof?
Yeah, it's very important to me. Having 3 young kids at home, I always want to go home. That's the end goal. And so, honestly, the first one is just checking my environment. Seeing and making sure that I have the space that's appropriate to put up a ladder, and to put it up to say. I mean, anyone can put up a ladder, but you want to make sure you have the right, the right angle on it. My number one is I always wear my cougar paws. They're basically, people ask, well, how do you stay up there? And I say, I got these boots that stick me to your roof. So that's always my number one, is I always have those on. And then just making sure that, like you said, Dawn, that, I have the right equipment, which is, I don't always necessarily, unless I'm doing the work, I don't always strap myself to the roof, but making sure that I have a safe spot. That's really the biggest thing, is just making sure I have a safe spot to go up, to where I'm not, placing my ladder, at a precarious angle, or, sitting on, rocks. You see these funny memes that are all over the internet of, someone tried to balance out their ladder with a pebble or two stacked on, on top of one another. And it's definitely not doing anything like that. So yeah, there's different tools in the trade to make sure that your ladder is always level, that you can actually tie off your ladder to a gutter. Or if you're doing what's called a double pull, where you have to put your ladder up onto the house, turn around, pull your ladder up onto the roof that you're on, and then put it up again. That's probably the most dangerous situation that I have, I guess, been in. I don't know if I'd even call it dangerous, because I have the right items. But yeah, just making sure that your foundation is set. And then, I mean, I'm here, so it's worked so far.
Well, there you have it, folks. Beck is so excited. We're so excited. Elegant Home Podcast. She is just, going to blow up in this area and throughout the tri-state. And we hope to go into other cities. This Girl on a Roof concept, I think, is going to just really take off like no other. And we're honored to have you here today on the Elegant Home Podcast. And
great to be here.
You guys, tell us a little bit, Beck, how do people get a hold of you? Do you have a website or some of these, tell us a little bit of how they can reach out to you.
Sure, absolutely. Probably the easiest way right now is on my Facebook. It's just A Girl on a Roof at facebook.com. And I like to put silly, goofy things on there every now and again. But for the most part, I like to just put educational videos, about what I do, how I do it. And then, of course, you can reach out to me if you need estimates or if you want a quote for anything that you need done. You can also find me on Instagram, same thing, at A Girl on a Roof. And, I try to keep it entertaining. I don't know if I'm a wild internet sensation yet, but one day I will be. That's the goal.
Very soon, very soon.
Very soon, that's right, that's right.
Well, thank you so much for coming on Elegant Home Podcast. We are so excited to be a part of this journey with you, and I'm so excited to see what you do to empower more girls to get into the trades. And I think you're going to be an inspiration. They're going to look up to you and say, hey, this girl's doing it. I can do it too. So we're very excited about that. So stay tuned. Girl on a Roof, coming to a town near you. I'm Don Riley, Elegant Home Podcast, where we make every home elegant, one home at a time. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned for Girl on a Roof. She's coming to you real soon.